Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Today I want to share with you a social experiment made by Asch that explains a little bit about social conformity. It's a really interesting study, and there have been lots of replicative studies around this Asch experiment, which is the following one. Asch, and this is a way of putting out in a way that is representative of what's happened. Specific details and situations are not explicit here, okay? And if you want one video with all the details and a more in-depth explanation of the Asch experiment and social conformity, please tell me below. Also, I will put some scientific articles for those that want to get a more in-depth grasp on it. Okay, let's go. So, Asch invited, let's say, 4 actors to come to the scene, paid actors. And then there is one person, that is the naive one, that doesn't know where he is going. And they are all in a room. And the experimenter comes and shows one line that has, well, a size of, let's say, 10 inches. And then after that he shows 3 lines with different sizes. And he asks to the participants which one of these 3 lines has the same size / eight, I believe that's the right word in English. I'm still learning, boys. Comparing to this line, which one of these 3 lines has the same size and height comparing to this one? And the 4 actors would say a line that it isn't the same size as this one. So they were not saying the truth, okay? They were saying something wrong on purpose. And the person, the naive person, knows which is the line that has the same size as the one showed previously. And he noticed that most people, they neglected what is in front of their eyes at least once, okay? And some of them conform to the group lots of times. So what the experiment showed, it was that people could neglect what is in front of their eyes to conform to the group. And that's the name, social conformity. The people neglect and they don't say what is true, so they can be more aligned with their group. And this is really interesting. And I will add one more detail to not complex a lot, that it is people tend to do this less if there's at least one person that agrees with her. So, 4 paid actors, they say wrong. 1 paid actor says the correct answer, then the naive person is more prone to say the truth and to, let's say, be friends with this person in a way that they agree what they say, okay? That is the correct line that has the same size as this one. So this is really interesting study. There have been a lot of studies made after this one, experimenting and replicating these studies. And if you want a more in-depth version, please tell me. I would love to bring you that if you want, okay? And I want to pick up this social conformity to ask you how this reflects your daily life, in your daily life or in society. Do you see this in your daily life, in society? Have you done this, or when did you did this? Lied to yourself to conform to the group. Didn't said what you were seeing, that it is truth, what is real, what is obvious. Because it's obvious which line has the same size of this one. Which one is obvious, okay? And I believe this is really important to know these concepts of social conformity and other psychology concepts because they are replicated in society to sell, to marketing and persuasion, and with in-depth knowledge or with in-depth muscle of seeing this in society or in our lives, I believe we are more prone to do good decisions. Why? Because with the development of psychology, technology, and tools from marketing and companies to incite to buy behavior or to consume some service, well, I believe that if you don't have a knowledge of these concepts, it's easy for us to be prone to be creating habits that we don't want, of consuming content we don't want, of following people we don't want, of creating habits we don't want, fast food, for example. Okay, so, and persuasion, etc. So I believe when we have in-depth knowledge about these concepts, we are more prone to see this, to detect this, so we avoid some traps that companies, marketing, or society put us in front of, right? Because we can see and detect this. Oh, it's using that technique. Oh, it's using that technique. And with more conscious mind, we can decide to use that service. Or maybe as we see this, this is not aligned with myself, with who I want from me. And maybe you can see with a more clear eye if something it is really for you, or if they are only using your impulses to grab you to that product or service. Because this happens all the time. We know that loads of people are in automatic autopilot on social media, scrolling on Instagram, watching YouTube videos, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and they truly don't want that for their lives. But because technology and the algorithm and the app is designed to maintain users there, concepts of psychology, right? They make that people, slaves is a strong word, but they made that people so prone to use that unconsciously that, well, people do it, okay? And this only works in such efficient way because they know how we behave, our biological functions, our dopamine system, what we are attracted to, what we will want to repeat if this experience happens to ourselves, right? So I believe that's why we should have an in-depth knowledge about psychology or about the concepts about psychology, and on our daily lives try to look where those happens, even with ourselves, or especially with ourselves. So I invite you to ask yourself where you see this social conformity in a bigger or smaller level in your life, if you have already sometimes or anytime said something that it wasn't true just to conform to the group or not, and maybe reflect on that, and when that happens again, maybe do the right decision. And sometimes the right decision it is to conform the group. In some extreme situations it can be a mechanism of survival, but I believe that's not the case today. I believe today we can conform less to the group, except, well, when we have some dependence on the group, etc. But I don't think it's good to lie to ourselves, to lie to society, to conform to the group in a way so we can survive. But yeah, that's the reflection for today. I hope it is truly useful, and if it was, if I touched your heart, your brain, type on the comments. Tell me so I can continue to make videos and improve. Today, that's it. Thank you for watching. Put your like, subscribe, activate the bell if you think this content is useful for you, and thank you. See you tomorrow and good luck.